All right, if you're learning German, you totally know this feeling. You're faced with these tiny little words that seem to change for no reason at all. But you know what? Today, we're going to crack that code.
I mean, these words are everywhere, right? You've got der, ein, mein, diese, kein. What's the system? How are you supposed to keep them all straight? It feels like you have to memorize dozens of separate rules for each one.
It really is like trying to put together a puzzle, but you don't have the picture on the box. But what if I told you there's a super simple, kinda elegant system behind all of this? One that connects every single one of these words. Okay, let's dive in and unlock it. So here's our game plan. First, we'll look at the puzzle itself. Then I'm going to reveal the secret key. After that, we'll meet the two big families of words that contain almost all these articles. And finally, we'll use this brand new system to master what is probably the trickiest rule of them all.
Okay, first things first. Let's just admit it. This stuff is confusing. And you know what? You're right to feel that way. There are some really good reasons why it seems so complicated.
Just think about it. Sometimes you say the doctor, der Arzt. And other times you say a doctor, ein Arzt. One is super specific. We know exactly which doctor we're talking about, right? The other is way more general, like, hey, any doctor will do. And that choice, that simple little choice between specific and general, that's really the heart of this whole puzzle. Okay, but here it is. This is the secret, the aha moment that's going to make everything click into place. Seriously, this changes everything. It's not about memorizing dozens and dozens of words. It's about recognizing just two simple patterns. Get this, almost all of these little words belong to one of just two families. You've got the der word family, and you've got the ein-word family. That's it. And once you know which family a word belongs to, you automatically know how it's going to behave. This right here, this is the master key to the whole system. All right, so let's meet the first family. I like to call them the specifics family because they love to point things out directly. Think of these words like little laser pointers. They're telling you exactly which person or thing you're talking about. And the most famous member, of course, is der, die, and das. You know, the. And the cool part? All the other words in this family are basically just following its lead. And check this out. You can see how words that seem totally different are actually related. Words like dieser, which means this, and jeder, which means every. They're all part of the der family. Why? Because they point to specific things. This book, every student. See the connection? And this shows the pattern perfectly. Look at this. These words, they take the place of der and use the exact same endings. So if you know how to say der Mann, you automatically know how to say dieser Mann or jeder Mann. It's really that simple. No joke. Okay, on to family number 2, and this one is just as important. These are the words you use when you're being a little more general. So you'll want to think of these words whenever you're talking about a thing in general, or when you're claiming something is yours, like my thing, or even when you're negating something. They all share the same grammatical DNA, so to speak. And here it is. This is the other huge connection. All your possessive words, mein, dein, sein, all of them, they're part of the ein family. This is fantastic news. I mean, it simplifies so much. This is just a massive shortcut. What it means is, once you know the pattern for ein, you also automatically know it for mein and sein, and, this is the big one, for kein. You've basically just learned how to use a whole bunch of words just by learning one single pattern. All right, let's put our new two families system to the ultimate test. We're going to solve the single most common problem for German learners. When on earth do you use kein, and when do you use nicht? I mean, this question causes so much stress, right? But the answer is actually beautifully simple once you remember which family kein belongs to. Do you remember? That's right, it's an ein word. So here's the bottom line. It's actually super logical. If you are negating a noun, you use its family member, kein. That is its one and only job. For literally everything else that isn't a noun, we're talking verbs, adjectives, adverbs, whole ideas, you use nicht. That's the rule. And these examples just show it perfectly. You have keine Zeit because Zeit, time, is a noun. But the car is nicht neu because neu, new, is an adjective. The system just works every time. So from this day forward, just follow this simple process every single time. Step 1, find your noun. Step 2, decide, am I being specific or general? Step 3, grab a word from the right family. That's it. This is your master key. This is how you crack the code.
And that's really the heart of it all. It's this mental shift. You're going from frantic memorization to this calm pattern recognition. And that's what's going to transform your German. You stop seeing 100 different little problems, and you just start seeing two beautiful, elegant patterns. So now you have the system. You have the tools to turn all that chaos into clarity. What once looked like this random, super frustrating puzzle is now a nice, organized system that you can use with confidence. You know the families, you know who's in them, and you know what their jobs are.
So the big takeaway here is this. Grammar isn't just a bunch of random rules to memorize. It's a system. And once you find the key, like these two families we found today, you can unlock any part of it. So hey, let us know. What German puzzle should we help you solve next?
Have you ever found yourself just staring at a German sentence, totally stuck on which tiny little word needs to go in front of a noun? Well, if that's you, you are in exactly the right place. We are about to crack one of the most frustrating codes in the German language, and trust me, it's way, way easier than you think.
Does this whole mess look familiar? You know the noun, you know the verb, but then, bam, you hit this wall of what feels like a million random little words. Is it dieser Mann or diesen Mann? Should I use mein or meinen? I get it. It's a super common frustration for anyone learning German, but I'm telling you, there's a secret that makes all of this just click.
Yeah, it looks like just this big, messy pile of words you have to memorize one by one, doesn't it? It can feel so overwhelming. But I promise you, what looks like total chaos is actually a perfectly organized system. It's just in disguise, and we're about to pull off that disguise.
All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to start with the absolute basics you already know. Then I'll let you in on the two-family secret, we'll meet all the key players, and finally, we'll see how all of this becomes your new German superpower. Okay, so first things first. Let's head back to the two words that really started it all. The absolute foundation for everything we're going to learn today. Der and ein. We all know this stuff, right? Der is for specific things, you know, the man standing right over there. And ein is for general things, just a man somewhere in a crowd. And of course, a key thing to remember is you can't have a people, so ein doesn't have a plural form. Easy enough. Okay, you ready for this? This is the big aha moment that is honestly going to simplify your German grammar life forever. I want you to forget about memorizing dozens and dozens of words. Instead, I just want you to think about two families, just two. Seriously, this is the whole secret right here on this slide. All those other confusing words, dieser, mein, kein, think of them as just followers. They're not the leaders. They don't get to make their own rules. They just copy one of two family bosses, der or ein. Once you figure out which family a word belongs to, you know exactly how it's going to act.
All right, let's meet the teams. On one side, you've got the powerful der family. This includes words like dieser for this and jeder for every. And on the other side, we have the ein family. This is home to kein, which means no, and all of the possessives like my, your, his, and so on.
So let's dive in and take a closer look at who's actually on each team. This is where the pattern just becomes so clear, and honestly, it's pretty cool when you see it. Okay, check out the der family. See what's happening here with the endings? For masculine, you've got der, dieser, jeder. They all end in er. For feminine, it's die, dicey, jede. See? It's a perfect match every single time. This family is super consistent. They always just copy the ending of the original der, die, or das. Now let's look at the ein family. They do things a little differently. Take a look at that masculine column again. You've got ein, kein, mein. Notice something missing? There's no ending. They're kind of naked here. But the moment they have to describe a feminine or a plural noun, they put on that little e ending. And that's it. That is the one big difference you need to remember between these two families right now. Okay, great. So how does this actually help you speak German? Well, let's look at a couple of really common grammar tropes that this whole family system makes it super easy to figure out. Man, this one rule clears up so much confusion. Because kein is in the ein family, it acts like an article. It sticks to a noun and negates it. Ich habe kein Auto. I have no car. Simple. If you want to negate anything else, like an adjective or a verb, you use nicht. So, das Auto ist nicht neu. The car is not new. And hey, here's another awesome shortcut. When you're talking about jobs or nationalities in German, you usually don't use an article at all. You just say, sie ist Ärztin or ich bin Student.
But the second you add an adjective to describe them, poof, the article has to come back. You can't say, sie ist gute Ärztin. It has to be, sie ist eine gute Ärztin.
So, what's the big deal? Why is this your new grammar superpower? Well, because it's not about memorizing another boring chart. It's about finding the one single key that unlocks the entire system. This right here is the payoff. You can literally throw away those long, intimidating lists of endings. Instead of having to memorize separate rules for dieser and jeder and mein and kein, you now only have to know 2 patterns. That's it. It just makes the mental load so much lighter. So from this moment on, this is your new mental checklist. Super simple. Every time you're not sure what to do, just ask yourself these 3 quick questions. 1, what's the noun's gender? 2, is this a der word or an ein word? And 3, apply that family's pattern. Done. It turns a frustrating guessing game into a simple, logical process. And really, that's the magic of it all. All of that chaos we saw at the very beginning, it all comes down to this one number. 2. 2 families. 2 patterns to learn. That feels so much more manageable, doesn't it?
And look, if you think this is a game changer, oh, you have no idea. Because this 2-family system, this is the ultimate key that unlocks the final boss of German grammar, adjective endings. But we'll save that for another day. For now, you have the code. The only question left is, what are you gonna do with it?